Hello, hello. Let's see if this goes live properly. Hopefully it will. Whoa, haven't been on for a while. So let's see. Looks like I'm live. Hopefully I am. Let me know in the comments if you are here, if you get this message. Impromptu live happening. So fingers crossed that it's going okay and that it's working. Let me just put it on my phone and see if I get the live thing going on here. Oh, it looks like I'm live, so that should be good. Live. Let's check. Oh, there I am. Awesome. Hi, Gina. Happy to have you here. I'm just putting it on my phone as well because sometimes I don't get the messages on my computer properly when I go on live. So hello, how are you? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. So whether you're new to my page or whether you're a long time listener, follower, participant, welcome. My name is Sheila Bicknell. I'm BlueWater Oracle on my social media as well as my website. And it has been a long time. So I wanted to check in. I wanted to touch base and say hello. Hi, Sherry. I'm glad that you're here. I did want to pop in and say hello because, well, there's some big world stuff going on, big energies, and it's full moon today. So happy full moon to you. Blessed full moon. I hope that it is joyous and full of many blessings and bringing you much to be insightful with and working with. If you're interested in feng shui, you can see the post that I posted a little while ago. I shared from Tanya Yankee. Feng Shui for the Om. She always has great tips on the moon cycle, so you can check out that. And of course, there's many other amazing practitioners of moonology, of astrology, and of intuitive guidance and Feng Shui, all that come in and connect with us at these times, which are just highlights. They're highlights. It doesn't mean we have to work with them, but why not? It's fun. And if you were like me and you saw the moon last night, she was bright and glorious and beautiful. I looked out and I thought the snow is really bright. Everything's really bright. And then, of course, there she was. Bright, big, beautiful grandmother moon looking at us and sharing her wisdom through her reflective light. So I'm coming on today to do a bit of a chat, a bit of a check-in. How are you? What's going on? How are you doing? I want to let you know that I haven't come on so much for lives for a few different reasons. One is I'm doing more caregiving for a senior family member, and it does take more time and energy, and my time is a little different in my day, so I don't always have the oomph to pop on live. But also that I'm very aware that those of us who do live readings, sometimes it opens the doors, unfortunately, to people who have fake accounts and people who do scam activity. And I'm very conscious of that, and I want to make sure that I have the energy afterwards to come on to be managing, to be blocking people, to be deleting them, to be answering your questions. If you think that somebody has sent you a message and you're not sure if it's me or them, and you want to double check. So that is one of the reasons, a couple of the reasons that I haven't been on. And the days fly by. Is it just me? Is it just me? Or do the days fly by? We are February 12th, 2025. Whoa. We've gone through New Year. We've gone through Lunar New Year. We've done moon cycles. And now we're on full moon, heading towards Valentine's Day, heading towards getting closer and closer to spring. We've already had high winter here in the north, so we're moving in that next phase towards spring, and I am fine with it. But before that, we get some winter storms. So we've got some hefty winter storms coming our way, so people who love snow are really happy about it. It will be bright and beautiful, and if you're a skier or a snowshoer, you will enjoy it as well. In case you have not checked in with my year wheel, I encourage you to do so. I do have a year wheel posted on my YouTube channel, and also goes out in my newsletter, as well as here gets posted. So I posted not too long ago the written version of my February card. Let me post the link here in the comments, so if anybody's interested, you can look at it now, you can look at it later. Is this going to work? Let me see. There we go. Okay. So I'm putting a newsletter link in case you're not on my newsletter list and you'd like to get emails to keep up to date with stuff or just hear my chats. then feel welcome. There's also a place for contributions if ever that is your scoop and you would love to support me in my work. And then you can see the link for the February to the direct link to a February card for my YouTube channel. I'm going to get rid of this preview. Voila, so it's there. So the February card is stepping into stillness. So it's looking at our power of majesty and silence. So increasing our personal power by stepping into the majesty of silence. So there's also a lot of prayer mentioned in the February card. So I didn't know when I did it on January 1st, when I did the year wheel, what February would look like. Now that I look at it, yes. I think that prayer is a great idea, and I think that stepping into that stillness and some serenity and some personal reflection is very, very valid and really important. So let me know what you think. Okay. My card for my membership group, in case you don't know, I have my own membership group called the Oracle Cove. You're always welcome to reach out for information. We do readings every week together in a private group. And our card for this week is Believing in Magic. So if you need a little boost in your believing in magic, then you can think of that card as you go through this week. I wanted to pull a couple of cards, see where we are with our energies, see where you are. So take a moment, breathe into your body, check in with your physical body. Are you holding tension somewhere? Are you holding stress? Is your body giving you messages that you may or may not be paying attention to? Is it asking for support? Is it asking for care? And then take a moment and check in with your mind and your brain. What's going on there? Is it all over the place? Is it struggling with focus? Is it, again, asking for some different kind of care, some different kind of practices to bring in into your day, into your routine? Or does it need something more intensive? Does it need a support group? Does it need medical health or alternative complementary health care? What do you need? What does your brain need? What is your mind telling you? And then check in with your heart, check in with your spirit, your highest good, your highest value. Is it love for you right now? Is it light? Is it supporting others? Is it supporting yourself? Is it connecting with the earth and her magic and her amazingness? Or is it a beautiful combination of all of the above, working with divine, spirit, universe, infinite wisdom, however it connects with you? And in some of my readings, I've had a lot more angel connections coming up recently. So one of the decks that I haven't used as often, the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, has really wanted to come out. And one of the reasons is because it has a whole bunch of angel cards that really wanted to come out and chat with us around chakra energy, but also around other angel properties. So maybe you want to be reconnecting with angel energy a little bit right now. So what are your needs? What's going on with you? What are you feeling? What is happening? What are your needs? You can let me know in the comments if you want. Otherwise, just feel into it for yourself. Do a check-in. Check in with you. Where are you at? What do you need? What's going on? One of the things I want to remind you of, that I often remind my clients of and remind myself, is something that I heard a long time ago from Sonia Choquette in one of her courses, which is that when you feel a big shift in your mood or your energy, or something comes sort of into you or over you and you're not sure what's going on, check in and see, is this mine? Is this mine? Am I receiving something that is related to me and my needs and my energy? And this is really important because it can help you to identify, is it from a family member? Is it from a partner who's going through something specific? Is it mine from right here? Is it mine from somewhere else? Is it also a coworker? Is it somebody I just walked by at the grocery store? Is it somebody who is in a group that I'm in who's going through really specific needs? What's happening? What's going on? And check in. Maybe you've absorbed or you've taken on, or empathically you are receiving energy that's not yours. It doesn't mean that you can't hold space for them. It doesn't mean that you couldn't send love to them and light and wish through angelic guidance and support that they get what they need. But it means that you're not going to take it on yourself and necessarily have to work on it or work through it if it's not yours. Especially when there's big world stuff going on. There's always big world stuff. But I'd say for those of us in North America, maybe there's bigger world stuff. For other people in different parts of the world, it is continuing. But notice as this is happening, how is it impacting you? Is it yours? Is it somebody else's? Is it your neighbors? Is it your entire region? And check in. I wasn't like that when I woke up, but now I am. Let me pay attention to that. Okay? So those are a couple of things that you can really notice for yourself. What does it require? Yes, it requires a pause. It requires taking a deep breath. It requires taking a moment and looking at what's going on and what do you need. So there's some people looking for readings and messages. I may not do individual sessions or messages today, but I am going to pull a couple of general cards. I just wanted to touch base because it has been a really long time, and I do feel that some people are needing a lot of support, myself included. So I hope that you are getting support in all different ways, from friends, from family, from professionals, from groups, from hobbies, whatever you need. I hope you're getting a lot of support in whatever avenue that you need to have. Gina is currently job hunting, so wishing you well with that. I hope that that is going to go and you're going to have great success finding something wonderful for you. So let's pull a couple of general cards. Noticing your energy. Where are you right now? What are your needs? If you know somebody who you think this would be helpful for, or you would like them to get to know me a little bit better, then please feel welcome to tag them, invite them in, or send them the video after. If you don't want to do it publicly, no worries. We want this to always be a safe space, a caring space, a space where you get to reflect on your choices and your needs. And that's always part of my readings, right? We look at options, we look at perspectives, we look at ideas, and then from there, we get options on choice, on what do we do, how do we do it. So, no, Princess Bella, if you're coming on, if you're a genuine human, which I doubt you are, but if you're a genuine human, then please do not come on and scam people or spam people who are on here. Otherwise, I will immediately block you from my page. So don't do it. Don't do it. If you're coming on to have a genuine chat with me, then welcome, and I'm happy to have you. I'll leave you a moment, let you have that option of not doing what I think you're doing. Otherwise, hanging out. Let's pull some cards. Okay. So for those who don't know me, I'm a multi-deck reader. I have a whole bunch of oracle cards. I can read without cards as well, straight psychic connection, straight intuitive connection. I do some channeling also, so we have lots of fun. My readings are for the here and now, helping you to work into, to work through, or to better understand what's going on in your life journey. So I don't do predictive readings. It's not my strength, but I can help to look at options and look at choices, two different choices, or going down this street versus that street, not literally, metaphorically. If you want it literally, I could do that too. But giving you those options to see into and to then reflect and to then make choices yourself from there. So I'm opening doorways, I'm bringing you messages, bringing you insights, and then we work together from there. On private readings, or of course on lives like this. Yay! Hello! So we've got a whole bunch of different decks here. I've got extra decks that have come out. I've got other decks around the room in my home office here. And let's see who wants to start. As I said, it's been a long time since I've come on. This is my first live on Facebook since the beginning of the year. If you want to tune in and subscribe on my YouTube channel, I do occasionally go on there as well on what are these? Lives? On lives, also on there. So I'd love to have you. All right. So we're going to start with a card from the Earth Magic Oracle cards for our chat this evening. Full moon energy, insight, awareness, paying attention to where we are, what our needs are, how we're reacting to things, what our choices are. This is a deck by Stephen Farmer, Dr. Stephen Farmer, and published by Hay House. So here we go. So listen to your own intuition, listen to your own connections, signs, synchronicities, confirmations. And general card for us today, Milky Way perspective. A little bit like a full moon, I would say. It has a little bit of that light reflective kind of look about it. So Milky Way perspective. So here we have sort of spiral energy looking through all the different planets and stars that are in this Milky Way energy, looking towards the central light. So it's out in space, it's big, it's bold, it's grand in its view, and it's representing all different points of light that all come together to make up a perspective. So one of the big messages today to whoever's watching this, whenever you're watching this, is to recall, to remember, to work with the principle of perspective. So you have a perspective that you embrace and work with and walk with every single day, as do I. When we're dealing with all different topics and all different people in life, we have a bunch of different perspectives that come together. Some of them come together, some of them are opposing, some of them are colliding, some of them are interweaving to work together amazingly. But it's a reminder of perspectives. So if you are looking at this center light as an example, and you are on this point of a star or a planet or out in a spaceship, if you're in Star Trek kind of era, or which I like, or Star Wars, which I've been watching recently as well, your perspective looking is a particular way. If you're over here, your perspective looking is different. If you're on this side, your perspective looking in is different. Your perspective looking at somebody over here is different. So everywhere on the spiral, the perspective is different. If the spiral is a perspective in time, how would you respond and react to something as who you are now versus who you were 6 months ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago? The perspectives are different. Maybe they're exactly the same, but maybe they're different. Maybe they've changed. Maybe you've changed. Hopefully there's some wisdom. Hopefully there's some experience and some openness to seeing different perspectives. So with this card too, we want that openness. This is a big space card. So we want some of that openness to allow us to see different perspectives and allow us to have that option to embrace the possibility that a different perspective has value and can teach us something. And even if we don't want to interact with that perspective, even if we don't want to engage with that perspective, we could perhaps, with this card, the Milky Way perspective, we could perhaps receive something of value, reflect on something of value within ourselves. And that is awesome and great. But we need to be open to it, because if we're closed to all the different perspectives, then we only have ours. Point final, that's it, that's all. There's nothing else. And that's not life. All different perspectives, all the time. For those who know me, you know I like wildlife stuff. I like watching Wild Earth and their safari drives. If you haven't explored it, I encourage you to explore it. I love watching the different animals and hearing from the different naturalists. But perspectives are amazing in nature. My mom and I like to watch nature programs. And what we were watching the other day was a perspective of an ant. I think it was in Australia. Really big ant. A big ant. But its perspective, of course, would be dramatically different than a kangaroo or than a lion in Africa. Completely different perspectives. Do they negate each other? Or do they provide an opportunity for the observer to learn, to understand, to see how they weave together? Interesting stuff. So that's our first card for today. Milky Way perspective. Spiral energy with beautiful, strong light at the center of it. So what is your strong light? What does that represent to you? Your central light, your core values, your core essence, if you like. Okay, let me know what Milky Way perspective means for you as a check-in on this full moon on February 12th, in the energies that we're dealing with now in the world, that we're working with, that we're trying to bring in, but sometimes we may find it a little bit hard. Understandable, I totally get it. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. So, Milky Way perspective, first card for tonight. We're just doing general cards. I wanted to check in, say hello, chat, see how you're all doing, give you some support, give you some guidance as well, points of reflection. Happy full moon, blessed full moon to you as well. It's full moon in Leo, so if that is of relevance to you, you can check out more information with that. Another card, shall we? Shall we? Let me know. So, yes, I think we shall. So, Gateway Oracle. Ta-da! Gateway Oracle by Denise Linn, Linn. Also published by Hay House. I have a few of her decks. Love her decks. So, Milky Way perspective is our first card for today. Remember that the card for February is stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence is the affirmation, and that is from this deck of cards, Gateway. So, stepping into stillness, majesty of silence, personal power, and Milky Way perspective. And then what comes up next? What do you need to hear? What do you need to pay attention to that your signs, your symbols, your imagery, your intuitive connections, your messaging, your body are telling you? What do you need to notice and pay attention to? Let's see. Another card, another option. Being in the flow. So we've got big, expansive points of view here with the perspective, Milky Way. And then the being in the flow. I am in the flow of the universe. Not I'm in the flow of my bedroom, not I'm in the flow of these shoes, not I'm in the flow of my neighborhood, although all of those things are awesome if you're in the flow. But this is I am in the flow of the universe. So bigger, expansive, deeper connections, broader connections. What do you need through that? What does that mean to you? Maybe you look at it and you just get a gigantic question mark on your forehead. That's okay. That happens. So then say, what does being in the flow mean to me? What does flow mean to me? I like the idea of finding that point of flow. So if life is feeling particularly intense or challenging or bizarre, or you just kind of can't get the grasp of it that you would like to, and then find a point of flow in the present moment. So you can look around and things will be like, no, not happening. No, not going to do that today. Feels yucky, don't want to. And then all of a sudden there'll be a, ooh, yes, I could. Yes, I will. Yes, I would love to. Oh, how interesting. This feels easy. Oh, I can just step this way. That's flow. It's a practice. So you may need to practice to allow yourself to get used to it, to allow yourself to notice it and feel it and figure out how does flow show itself up to you. Being in the flow. So in this imagery, we get a flow as if it's a giant sailboat out in space, flowing with the universe. We've got moon, we've got stars, we've got a little person who is on this boat, hair blowing in the wind of the flow of the universe. There's an angelic presence in the front of the boat, and there's also a lantern. Okay, I am in the flow of the universe. So Milky Way perspective, being in the flow. So you can have your perspective, your reflections on it, your awareness of it, you're noticing your responses, reactions, your choices around perspectives. And then also bring in that flow. So notice when something throws you off your flow. Can you bring it back? Is your flow saying, hey, we actually would like this instead of this, and this is more flow to us? I do not believe that this means that everything, every single day is going to be all happy, happy, joy, joy, because we're humans and we got things happening in life. We've got experiences, we got stuff, we got people, we got situations. But this is also an inner journey. So where is your inner flow? What does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? And how does that feel in amongst all the other stuff? Okay? So we're chatting, we're playing with cards. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if these cards resonate. Do they mean anything to you? Do they connect at all with you? On my computer, I see it's 5:55, 5:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So 5:55, you could look up. What does that mean for you? To me, it means that, oh, there's a lot of, there could be a bunch of change coming up. There could be sort of shifting and asking us to pay attention, asking us to notice, which direction am I going? Where am I taking myself? Where's energy taking me, and where am I working with it? So I'm consciously involved. Does that make sense to you? Let me know. I'm going to go to another deck. We're going to go to one of my tarot decks. This is the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. Now, as you're watching this, you might get ideas that pop in your mind. You may get images, you may get symbols or confirmations. Pay attention to that. That's your own intuition. Maybe you get angel bumps or goosebumps. Maybe you get little shivers, or you get tingles, or you get something that's sort of paying attention, saying, hey, did you hear that? Or did you pay attention to that? Or I think you heard about that yesterday, and now you're hearing about it again. Maybe there's something to notice in that. Lots of possibilities. Lots of possibilities. But remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. Okay? It's a requirement. You have to breathe. But when you do it consciously, it gives you tools to work with your body, to work with your energy, to work with your spirit, your mind, as well as your physicality. Beautiful. Gilded Tarot. Knight of Swords. Aha! So, we get this powerful knight on his blue draped horse in his different colors. All right, he's got a blue sword. He's got his sword up towards the sky with the light shining on it. There is a hawk up in the tree looking at him like, okay then. Hanging out like that, right? The horse is sort of ready to go. It's like it's holding all of its energy, ready to go, ready to move forward. Now, you can interpret knights in a whole bunch of different ways. It looks like there's actually, I don't think I've ever noticed that before, on the along the ground would be the poinsettias. Does it look like poinsettias? It looks like poinsettias to me. So there's interesting connections with that. It's making me think of, I saw posts over Christmas, because quite often people bring out poinsettias over Christmas, and there's a historical indigenous relevance to pay attention to. Where do they come from on the earth in the Americas? What do they represent to those people? Look it up if you haven't. It's really interesting. I don't remember all the details, so I'm not going to try to speak to it, but I do want to pay attention. You could also, note what's happening with the Gulf of Mexico right now, and our southern neighbors whose government has decided to change the name to the Gulf of America. Some people love it. Some people think it's amazing and the best thing ever. And other people are like, what? You're doing what? So it's interesting. But it speaks to something in that area, and it reminded me of it, so I'm bringing it up here. Indigenous perspectives, the history of places, the history of how things change. Are you looking for a knight to come in and to be the hero, to fix things, to solve things, to go into battle over things? And I am a romantic, absolutely. I love the concept of the hero coming in and saving the day. I really do. But with my other two cards here, I'm looking at, what can we do? What can we be as our own heroes, as shining our own lights, as not wielding the sword necessarily, because you have to be cautious with that, but paying attention to that the sword represents the air in the tarot, which is mindset, thoughts, thinking. It can be conflict as well, of course. So where are you stepping into hero energy for yourself? What does that mean to you? Where are you gearing yourself up, ready to utilize your energy in a way that's most valuable and beneficial to you, and then hopefully to others as well? Choose your battles. Choose your battles. But also, I would say with this card, it's reminding me to sort of talk about really paying attention to what is the undercurrent of a battle, and sometimes that's really hard to tell, right? What is the bigger message of a situation or of people's decisions? And that's something of our times, and also throughout history, that I would say has probably been really difficult to always know what is the reason that that is happening, the real reason. Maybe there's a perceived reason, but is that the genuine? Is that the truth of it? Or is there another reason? And so pay attention before you wield something, whether it's your words or some other kind of tool. Pay attention. What are the real reasons? What are the reasons I am making this choice? And what are the reasons that I'm reacting or responding to what I believe somebody else is doing, has done, or is preparing to do? Interesting stuff, deep stuff that's on my mind a lot. Let me know if it's on your mind too. You don't have to go into detail on it. You can just sort of say, yep, I'm getting it. I'm getting the questions. And what are we doing with all of this? Okay, so Knight of Swords. And what I want in a knight, which sometimes is a question in the way that I read the tarots, is I would like a knight who, and I can't remember if it's in our membership group this week or if it was in another reading I did for somebody, that we really want a knight that is going to stay around and build an amazing community. In the tarot, you would say an amazing kingdom, but an amazing community, building something. I don't want the hero to come in, battle, 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 and then, ooh, off I go. Off I go, I'm going to the next battle. Can't stay around and help you, clean up. I'm going to run off to the next battle. That's not my idea of a really honorable, valiant knight. Right? I want the knight that's going to stay at the table and negotiate and figure things out once the battle, quote unquote, battle, hopefully there are not actual battles, but there's always choices, there's always reactions. So once those things are done and it's moved into the next phase, I want a knight who's going to be building foundations, building creations, building collaborations, building community together. But it starts with each of us. So this knight is saying it starts with each of us, right? Sarah's saying for her, the Knight of Swords is thought into action. Interesting, thought into action. So every choice we make is thought into action, right? Every choice we do is that. So what are we looking for as we make those choices, as we choose those actions? What are we bringing? What are we choosing? And what do you look for as you think of this sort of hero energy coming in and doing something, or you coming in and doing something? Is it going to be able to be sustainable, or is it a very short-term thing? Interesting stuff. Remember, we started here with perspective and then in flow. So where does our Knight of Swords fit into that? Or where could he, as a character, as an energy, be working counter? And remember, then you've got that hawk sort of looking up in the tree. I swear he's looking at the knight going, what are you doing? What are you doing? The sword coming up can also be, it reminds me of a card that I got in my group this week, which was around Archangel Michael. So the strong light of sword, helping in protection, safety, security, and also releasing and cutting away the old, cutting away things that are damaging, dangerous, no longer helpful. Salut Marie-Claude, bonne soirée, hope you're doing well. So you could look at that aspect as well. Let's pull another card. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Is this bringing you some insight? Is it helping you to get some breath going and think about different things? Maybe not all the cards resonate for you on this full moon, but maybe there's something that does, or that's something that is a confirmation or a connection for you. So allow that to play and bring into for yourself. Let me see where we want to go. We're going to go soul coaching oracle cards next. Another Denise Lynn deck. Okay. We're having a chat, having a conversation, seeing how your energy is, checking in. You may stay for a couple of minutes. You may stay the whole time. I'm going to head off soon. Almost supper time in our neck of the woods. I hope that you're going to be safe and well. If you've got some strong weather heading your way, take care of yourselves. A lot of breathing, a lot of focusing on what you would like, safety, security, well-being. So we move now into the soul coaching oracle cards, and we get the energy of healing. So could all of this, the perspective, the flow, the reminder of thought into action, as Sarah said, that Knight of Swords, coming in, doing something big, taking care of things, moving that energy, working with thought, working with power as well. Could all of it be for healing? How does healing come into it? For you. Maybe for other people too, of course, we hope. But also for you. Oh, it's my pleasure, Mary Claude. It's my pleasure. So let me read what the affirmation is. This is the healing card from the Soul Coaching Oracle cards. And I always think, I don't know what the whole picture looks like, but to me it always looks as though she would be sitting in a heart. It has that sort of energy on it. And she's got her healing hands. Right? So it says, phenomenal healing energy flows through every cell in my body. Phenomenal healing energy flows, through every cell in my body. Let me try that again. Phenomenal healing energy flows through every cell in my body! Exclamation point. So where does healing come in? Where does your connection with your cells? Where does that flow of healing energy come into you and work with you? Maybe it's shifting a perspective. Maybe it's being aware of a thought with that Knight of Swords. Is there a thought that tends to always be getting in your way, battling against you, and you want to pay attention to it and utilize that energy of a hero coming in to help yourself? Maybe that's valid for you. Okay, healing. So on this full moon, whatever your perspectives are, whatever your life adventures are at the moment, amazing things, challenging things, look at it from the perspective of healing. If I wanted to heal something within myself, if I felt I needed to heal something within myself, if I acknowledged that I can tell there's probably some healing that this person needs, or this group of people need, or that community needs, or that part of the world needs. Maybe you don't have all the details, and maybe it's not your business to have all the details, but maybe you get a sense, something somebody said, how somebody responded, an energetic sense that you have, an emotional sense. How would you respond if you saw it from the perspective of needing healing and wanting to facilitate healing in the most loving, most divine, most user-friendly, highest good kind of way? How would you approach it? It reminds me of what does it remind me of? It reminds me of, it was right there, give me a second, probably a quote or a meme at some point, not recently, a long time ago. And it was a quote basically that, what if you looked at everybody you came across in a day in your life, and you looked at them as a soul rather than as a fellow human, but you looked at them as a soul? Would that shift your perspective? Would that invite you to react, respond, act, speak in a different way? So this has that same kind of energy for me, but from a healing perspective. So what if you looked at everything, every situation, every person, and checked in? Was there a healing perspective there? Is there healing energy that maybe you are not going to provide yourself, but maybe you're going to request it on their behalf by the greatest laws of love and grace and forgiveness and insight and higher wisdom? What could that healing be for them? Ooh, I love it. I love it. How does that sit with you? How does that resonate? It could be purely for you, about you, or it could be different, about somebody else, or about parts of the world. Let me know. Okay? And remember again that my February card from my year wheel, which is one perspective, my year wheel is one perspective, is stepping into stillness. So it's my power is born in the majesty of silence. So there's a serenity. There's also prayer there. So you could bring in prayer around healing. And what would that look like for you? What would that feel like for you? Okay. Another card that wants to come to play and to guide is from the Power of Surrender cards. This is from Dr. Judith Orloff. Also Hay House, published. Because sometimes we need to surrender to something or surrender something of ourselves. Mary Claude is adding that everyone needs healing. And I believe that. On some level, at certain points in time, we need healing. And is that perhaps part of our journey to really allow healing of this, and that? Absolutely. That makes sense to me. So then Power of Surrender card, we get surrender to creativity. So how could we bring in healing? Sometimes it's creativity. How could we allow the flow or allow our mind to bring us those amazing and important and valuable and helpful thoughts and actions? Surrender to creativity. So we see a woman here, or a young woman, it could even be a girl, standing in a field. It could be wheat. I don't know my grains like that, but it looks like some kind of grain field. And she's holding a mirror. On the outside of the mirror, our sort of side of the mirror, you see a couple of butterflies. In the mirror, the reflection is tons of butterflies radiating light. So it's this beautiful transformation as well as creativity within the mirror. So what's in your mirror? What's in you? And what's in your mirror when you look at you? And also when you look at possibility, when you look at creativity. Surrender to creativity. I'll read what it says on this card because it has some text on it. It says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So let's get creative. So a perspective of creativity is coming in as being important. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. The butterflies are also bringing me great transformation and a reminder that sometimes that's lovely and easy and a walk in the park, and other times it's intense and full on and deep and profound and demanding. But there can always be that sense of something glorious, something lovely, something loving. What do you think? What do you think about that? Okay. And also being that she's standing in a field, like a grain field, it reminds me that we do also get that idea of growth. With transformation comes growth. Sometimes we're harvesting, sometimes we're planting, sometimes we're getting ready for things, sometimes we're tending and managing. So where are you at? What are you seeing in the mirror? What would you like to see in the mirror? And what is that magic kind of mirror showing you? Transformation, beautiful butterflies in this one. Lots of stuff. I didn't know they'd be this chatty this evening. Well, there you go. What do I know? Cards are very chatty. All right. Last card, I think. Earth Magic says no. I don't think so. So we're going to go to the Native Spirit Oracle cards. I hope that this is helpful. I hope this is bringing you some calm, some serenity, some points of reflection on this full moon night. Okay, maybe you're snuggled up getting ready for snow. Maybe you're going to play in it. Maybe you're going to hibernate. Maybe it's warm where you are. Lots of possibilities. So from the Native Spirit Oracle cards, also by Denise Lynn, we get the talking stick. So surrendering to stillness and the majesty of silence. One of the great values from my understanding of the talking stick is the point of listening. Yes, there are times to talk. And when one holds a talking stick, it's one's opportunity to speak. But when someone else is holding it, it is the opportunity to listen and really listen. Not just hear, but really listen. So I encourage you in this phase of interesting times to really listen. And I love from this session that perspective of healing. What needs to be healed, what is calling for healing, what is asking for healing, what is crying out for healing at times. And really listening. Maybe you're doing the talking, but maybe you're also being given an opportunity to listen and really listen. And then when you speak, you choose very carefully, because it is a tool you are wielding. And what are you saying? And how are you saying it? I love that. So, Milky Way perspective led us to being in the flow of the universe, led us to the Knight of Swords, and a whole bunch of stuff about thoughts and heroes and strong foundations, led us to healing energy, led us to surrendering to creativity to give us answers to problems and challenges, and that energy of transformation and harvesting led us to the talking stick with listening and being very aware that when we talk, it is a tool. And how are we wielding it? How are we using it? And sometimes with this card, you're just going to stand and look at the horizon. You're just going to look at the view and check in with the vision and check in with, what would I say to myself? What am I saying to myself about my life, about my point in life right now, about what my needs are, my dreams are, what my healing needs to be? And I will listen to myself as well as others. Maybe sitting quietly, outside or inside, wherever you need it. Mary Claude is bringing a beautiful confirmation saying, yesterday I just told myself to listen more. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Mary Claude. There we go. That's going to be our session for today, our check-in and chat. I hope that it was beautiful. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know in the comments if it brought you value, if it was a nice point to check in, whether you listened to the whole thing or you listened to only a few minutes. It is up to you. My name is Sheila Bicknell. I'm BlueWater Oracle. I'm just going to put, again, links to my email newsletter list if you want to join in with that. Also, a link to my February reading, Stepping into Stillness, on my YouTube channel, and my Year Wheel video, which you can check out directly. If you'd like more information about a reading or in my group, the Oracle Cove, please do let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time somewhere online, on social media, or otherwise, and maybe hopefully in person too. Take care of yourselves. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed full moon. Yes, happy Valentine to you as well. Mag Claude, you're very welcome. Blessed, beautiful full moon to you. Take care of yourselves and those you love, and allow that healing energy to come in also. Until next time, wishing you well. Ciao.